Oh wait, that's not 2, 3. So what we've seen is a lot of different procedures and a lot of different steps, and everything's related. What are all these things and how are they related? Is the question that's on your mind right now. And here's the answer. So this is your handy dandy chart, which I made to help you understand the relationship between everything. So based on this chart, for example, if you have a data value and you want a probability, what can you do? You can use no. You can only use one of them. Right. If you have a data value, you want to get a probability, you use norm disk. If you have a data value and you want a z-score, what do? Yes. Which is d equals x minus mu over sigma. It's a bit small, but you can see it in the notes. So this tells you everything. Okay. This is page 48 of the notes. I presume you'll be keeping this handy. Sorry, there's also one thing which I neglected to show you, which is the last bit, how to use Statdisk for that. So I'm going to come back to this in a second, the chart. I said you can use norm sinv to go from the z-score to the to go from the probability to the z-score. We can also use Statdisk for that. So let's do that 85th percentile question. Analysis, probability distribution, normal distribution. Now, what do we know? Do we know the z-value? No. Do we know the cumulative area to the left? Yes. And what is it? 0.85. Click evaluate, and what do we need? The z-value. And there it is. What's that? Okay, then use this one. Okay, good. Yeah, a lot of people like using Statdisk because it's easier. Some people like Excel because it can do more. Choice is yours.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Microsoft Works?
Yes.
I don't have Microsoft Works on my computer, and I have a spreadsheet that looks a lot like Excel.
Yes.
It's not giving me the same option.
It won't. You download OpenOffice. And you can do it in OpenOffice. All these things. Okay. So on this chart, first of all, I've written down the Excel formulas because those are the things that you really have to remember. Of course, if you use Statdisk, there's nothing to remember. You just type it in and hit evaluate. It's all there. The only shortcoming of Statdisk is that Statdisk can only go from z-score to probability and back. With Statdisk, you cannot go between data value and probability. That's something to keep in mind. Okay. So if you have a probability and you want a z-score, what Excel command would you use? From probability to z-score. Norm sin. So everything is right there. And furthermore, here's a little guide as to the syntax. So, for example, this first bit is telling you if you're given a z-value and you want to find the area. Well, if your z-score is 1, you type in norm dist of 1, and it would give you this answer. If your z-score is 1.2, you type in norm sdist to 1.2, and it gives you this area or this probability, and so on. Or maybe you're given x and you want to. Or maybe you are given x and you want to find the area. So then you would type in something that looks more like this. Norm dist of your x value is 68. You also have to type in 64, 1.5, and true, and it give you the area, which is 0.9961, etc. Okay. Another example, another example. That was the first part. The second part is going backwards. Going backwards is, if you're given the area, then you want to find z. You can type in norm sin of this area, which is 0.8413, then the z-score would be 1. Or if you're given area you want to find x, use norm inv. How do you use it? You would type in norm inv, where your area is 0.7, then your mean is 64, your standard deviation is 1.5, and it gives you an x value of 64.7866, etc. Alright. But again, what's nice is that if you're using Excel, it gives you a hint to remind you of what you're supposed to be, of what you should be typing in. Equals norm inv. It tells you what you should be typing in. Again, I don't expect you to be immediate masters of all these things. That's what the chart is for, and that's what the homework is for.